Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of the ReactJS course. I wanted to start off by saying that I need you please all to go to nodejs.org and download the latest version of Node.js. And whatever operating system you have, just follow the instructions on the download installation and you'll be fine. I'm not going to go through the installation. It's not hard at all and you can do it by yourself. And if you get confused, there are plenty of videos of downloading Node.js on YouTube. You can go and follow them. And that's the first thing I ask you to do. Second thing, I want to also please to have a code editor downloaded on your PC. I preferably use VS Code. If you have VS Code, that is great. And if you do not have it, I advise you to download VS Code. I prefer it above all other code editors. But if you have another one, that's completely fine. After downloading these two important softwares, if you want, you go first to your CMD. Okay, let's first navigate into our desktop and let's create a folder. I'm gonna call it project 1, for example, and let's navigate into that folder. And I want to type in code space point, which opens up VS Code for me. And the project that the folder that I have already created. And I need you all please now to open a new terminal, okay? And I want you to type in the following command: npx create react app, and then the name of your app, okay? So I'm gonna call our app project 1 also, and then you press enter, okay? Since this is gonna take a while, this step takes a while, so I have already done this step before. So I have created a new folder that is called demo1, and then the name of my app is also demo1. Okay, so that's first. First thing I'm gonna do right now is first we need to navigate into our React app, which is demo1. So I've already navigated by typing cd demo1, and then after that I want to start my React app. Okay, so whenever you want to start your React app, you type in npm start and then enter. Okay, this should start your React app. So we're gonna wait for it to starting the web development server, and you should see in front of you this page right here. That means that your React app is successfully created. Okay, and with no errors, no anything. Okay, so let's go through a bit of the folders that we have here. So the public folder, we're not going to use it a lot, but there's an important thing that I want you to understand. So you might know from your previous experience, if you have an experience with HTML, that you write in a code, okay, in HTML, and that's you have a file that has an extension of HTML, and then whatever you write inside of the body gets rendered on a browser. Okay, so that's what we know. Okay, but in React, when we use React, that is a JavaScript framework, the thing is we have a virtual DOM, and our React app or our website that we're creating is built on top of this div ID root. So as you can see here, whether you know it or not, that this div that has an ID of root, okay, I want you to please remember that it has an ID of root, and I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove to you in a few how the whole thing has been rendered on the browser. Okay, so this index.html has nothing to do with this rendering right here. In fact, if we go to the source folder, that is the most important folder in our React app, and if we open up this app.js, you can see that whatever is written inside of this app.js is kind of rendered on the page. Like we can see edit source.app.js, learn React, all of these things that are written are actually rendered. So what is this app.js actually? Okay, so what is this app.js? Actually, app.js is the big component, if you want, of our React app. It's the biggest component. Inside of it, we're gonna render all of our application. So what is a component actually? A component in React could be either a function either a class. Okay, so here our app.js is a function, as you can see here. Okay, so it's a function and it returns a certain HTML code. Okay, so as you can see, all the components and all the classes, we're gonna see how a class is written actually in the next videos, but we're gonna focus on a function right now. So it gets returns an HTML code, and it's enclosed first by a big div. Okay, that div has a class name of app. Okay, and it has a normal HTML code inside of it. Now let me prove to you that it is what we're rendering, what is actually inside of that app.js. Let's type in a normal HTML code. I'm gonna type in hello world. Okay, let's save it and then go to our React app, and as we can see here, we have this hello world that we have already added on our page. Okay, so the thing is, you remember that I told you that this div that we have in the index.html has an ID as root. And if we open up this index.js, there's this little code right here, okay, that takes this document dot get element by ID, the div component, okay, and renders inside of it this app component. So that's how our app component, or that's how the browser is rendering what is written in the app.js. Even though it's a JavaScript file, we can also render it by typing this code. You don't need to know how that React.create root. That's not important right now, but it's a glimpse, an idea, if you get confused on how the app is rendered. Okay, now I mentioned the word component a lot, and you might not know what from now you don't know what a component is actually. So a component, React, is as you can see, as I said before, it could be a function or a class. Okay, and it renders an HTML. It renders an HTML code. Okay, so we can have a lot of components inside of React app, and you're going to see how to build a lot of components in one React app in the next videos. But I'm going to show you a sneak peek on how to create a component. So you go to this source folder that you have here, and you right click on it and you create a new file. All of our components have an extension of .js, which is a JavaScript file. So we don't need to forget that React is a JavaScript framework. So that's why we have this .js extension. So let's call it component1, for example, .js. Okay, and I want you here to use a quick hack, which is RFC, and then you press enter. It automatically creates a function component for you, which name is component1, and it returns a simple HTML code inside of a big div. Okay, so let's create this is our first component. Okay, and let's save that. If you go back to our browser, actually, we see that what we have written already has not yet been rendered on this page. And the reason is because we have not yet added our component1 on the app.js component that is rendered on the browser. So to do this, we just have to type in component, okay, component1, and that's how you render a component. That's a simple way to render a component inside another component. Okay, and then when I press save, we can see right here that this is our first component. Okay, this is what's written actually inside the component1 .js file. So that's how you render a component inside of another component. And if you haven't yet understood really well what a component is, how components are rendered on a browser, you're gonna surely understand this with more examples in the next videos. So if you like that video, subscribe and like the video so we could and if you have any questions, please do ask your questions on the comment section, and I'm gonna as soon as possible, of course, help you with your troubles and your errors. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.